police thought it was a mannequin. Then they realized it was a murdered woman. Her body had been carefully positioned in an empty Los Angeles lot. There was almost no blood at the scene. Detectives immediately believed something was wrong. The killer had cleaned the body, which meant one terrifying possibility: the murder happened somewhere else. In 1947, Los Angeles sold itself as the city of dreams. Hollywood promised beauty, fame, and success. But behind the glowing theaters and jazz clubs, violence spread through the city. Corruption infected police departments, organized crime operated beneath Hollywood nightlife, and murder stories filled newspaper headlines almost daily. The victim's real name was Elizabeth Short. She was 22 years old. Friends described her as intelligent, secretive, and fascinated by Hollywood glamour. She often moved between apartments, hotels, and cafes across Los Angeles. Some people believed she was chasing an acting career. Others said she surrounded herself with dangerous men. After her death, newspapers gave her a name the world would never forget: the Black Dahlia. The crime scene disturbed investigators immediately. Detectives noticed the body had been carefully arranged. There was almost no blood in the empty lot, which meant Elizabeth had likely been killed somewhere else, then transported after death. Investigators also believed the killer possessed medical knowledge. Some detectives suspected a surgeon. Others believed the murderer had experience with anatomy. But the strangest part came later. The killer began contacting newspapers. Days after the murder, newspapers received a mysterious package. Inside were Elizabeth Short's personal belongings: her identification card, her address book, photographs. The sender had carefully cleaned every item with gasoline to remove fingerprints. One message was signed, Black Dahlia Avenger. Now investigators faced an even darker possibility. The killer wanted attention. Over the decades, dozens of suspects became linked to the Black Dahlia murder. One theory focused on a surgeon. Detectives believed the precision of the injuries suggested medical training. Another theory pointed toward organized crime connections inside Hollywood. Some investigators believed powerful people protected the killer. Others became convinced the murderer was a serial killer who was never caught. False confessions appeared constantly. Some people confessed simply to become famous, but every theory eventually collapsed beneath missing evidence and unanswered questions. Today, the Black Dahlia remains one of America's most infamous unsolved murders. The mystery inspired films, books, conspiracy theories, and decades of obsession. Some investigators spent their entire lives trying to solve the case, but after more than 70 years, nobody truly knows who killed Elizabeth Short. And somewhere beneath the rain-soaked streets of old Hollywood, the truth may still be hiding in the dark.